What up? Welcome to Feral Publications YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about zines and DIY publishing. And as promised, today we're finally going to get to a quick flip through, and we're going to talk about issue 1 of the Feral Comics project, one of the projects that I was really happy to launch, and I'm glad that it's going strong. So let's go ahead and peep it out right now. So here it is, you guys. January issue 1, Feral Comics, a comic zine anthology filled with underground comics from around the world. I don't know why I thought this cover was cool. I thought the graffiti and color coordinating was gonna really be something great, but as you can tell by the newer ones, they haven't. The contributors in this issue were The Beast and I by me, Paranoid by Rami Miskawi, The Search by 33 Tenor, In Passing, once again by Rami Miskawi. And this was the quick intro that I put, which says, thanks for purchasing this zine that has some underground comics from around the world. All artists have been paid $2 per page. If you're interested in contributing to the following issues, we publish one a month. Ha! Laughable. Please email me, Rich, feralpublishing@gmail.com. Thanks for supporting this zine community. And this was mine's right here. It was this story that I really liked, and I've dabbled with this story again in different iterations, and I try to do more kind of like wordless panels. But the idea of this, which is an idea that I deal with all the time, is like this demon, or the demon within, kind of like, like we view violence as bad until we use violence to save the world, or we use violence to stop worse violence and things like that. And it's that point that, I guess through this and through some of the other projects that I've worked around this idea, is basically that nothing is ever good nor bad in totality. Everything is kind of a question of how do you quantify it. And so that was kind of this whole story revolved around that idea. And I really dug it. I was really trying to get better into like panel layouts and things like that. And it's definitely a longer one. But that's one of the things that I realized pretty quickly about my art, is that it's really premise based. A lot of it, if you like it, is because you like the premise and you like the themes that I'm trying to tackle. And like I'm always trying to get better at the fight scenes. Going back to the Hermit Stew comics, like, man, do I love his fight scenes. And I like this, right, because I try to show like his neck getting doubled down on itself. I like him ripping him in half. I thought that was actually pretty cool. I definitely like this scene with the hand going into the eye socket. But yeah, definitely dug it. This is the homie right here. I fucking always dug his art, man. And the homie 33 Tenor right here was one of the OG originals that was contributing quite a bit. And actually, this was a 3-part issue that kind of played out through Feral Comics. And that was actually one of the first notes that I got from a comic book shop. They said it's hard. The thing that's hard about anthologies is if each story isn't kind of self-contained, then people want the first part of this story, or want the second part or the third part. And if you don't provide that to them, they're going to not be as interested. Not necessarily sure how accurate that is, but that was a note that I got from a comic book shop. But the homie 33 Tenors comic is hella fun. It's hella cool, man. I definitely dug the art. A lot of the way this looks is actually my fault, because I didn't really know how to transfer it over and all that good stuff, which always goes back to that point that, like, when you think of making comics, you think of just the analog of it, just the drawing and all that stuff, but a lot of it's also about how you scale it, and then how you grade the colors and all that good stuff. And that's all the kind of stuff that I'm still learning, right? Like if you look at this page right here, I completely destroyed the homie shit, man. Like, you can barely even see it. And this actually was a damn good little story. It's basically about him thinking about someone who passed away, and it's really dark and really fucking good, man. Definitely dug it a lot. But yeah, so this is some of the problems that I was having in the first issue, and so that's why we say, like, in hindsight, was this a strong beginning? Well, I always say that just beginning already is a strong beginning, and so then me just doing this, I felt really good. Because one of the things about Feral Publication was that in its heart, I always wanted to publish people. I want to publish art that I thought should exist, art that just wasn't really being amplified or really couldn't find a home, that I thought really spoke to groups that weren't being spoken to through the arts, right? And that was always kind of my aim. And so this was the first time that I published people's work. So for me, it was a big milestone just to do that. And never mind that there are problems, right? Like even with the later issues now that come out stronger than this first issue, there's still problems, but that's because there's always ways to level up. You become a master and then you become a student again, to then become a new master, then to become another student, because you're always reaching certain levels, at which point these would be considered the highs, and then you have to go to master the next level, which then becomes a low, which then you master that level, and then you go to the next, the next, the next. And I feel like life is like that period, but as well like any project or anything you're doing, right? So like even skateboarding, like I've been skateboarding for a long time, and like some could say like, wow, you're really good, and it's like, yeah, I'm really good at certain aspects of it. But like if you guys seen any of my clips when I go into the bowl, I'm horrible. Like I'm horrible in a bowl. Like I don't have those handlebars. But that's that point of like there's different levels, and you can always progress and just grow stronger. And I think as we look through the issues, you guys are gonna start seeing a lot of that progression as it unfolds, even between in my eyes, right? And that one issue a month, oh my god, that was such a lofty goal. But like the reality is like my life is hella busy and hella hectic, and I don't always get to it on time like I like. And just like any other artist, one of the problems with the monthly thing is that you begin to think and overthink, and you do, and then you undo, and then before you know it, you're late. So that's something I think all artists deal with, and I'm no different in that regards. But all right, you guys, this was a quick flip through issue number 1 of the Furrow Comics Project. If you want your own subscription to the Furrow Comics Project, there will be a link in the show note for you guys to go ahead and get that. Beyond that, to everyone else that's already been showing love and support for the project, thank you guys, man. I hella appreciate it. Beyond that, you guys, I'll see you next time. Lates.